Perfect. So, this down a little bit, and get right back to this. So, let's take out that. Okay, back in the code. Perfect. So, we got 6 files changed so far, and actually going to switch to display capture instead. So we'll turn off the windows, and oh, wait, which monitor is it doing? Hi, Mary. Okay, that's better. So, what do we got? 45 minutes or so. We're gonna get this thing rocking. Error, great. Again. Another error, great. Okay. Unassigned local variable.
Are you
Well,
struggling due to ringing or
this
buzzing
one
in your ears?
equals.
You may be one of
Wait,
25
no.
million Americans living with tinnitus.
Hold on. Here, record.
FDA-approved tinnitus treatment
return
device
null.
Lanier has been proven to
That's it.
soothe tinnitus in a landmark clinical trial.
Record ID
and has
provided
helped
is 0.
thousands of
Valid
real-world
ID
patients
must be
get relief.
provided.
Find out
So
why
basically,
83%
it's
of
just
500 clinical trial
it's
patients
trying to
recommend
get
Lanier to treat tinnitus. Visit
a
Lanier.com
template
to find a
model,
clinic
and
near you.
it's
That's
possible to return a nullable.
LANIRE.com. Lanier is intended for use by adults with moderate
In
or
this
worse
case,
tinnitus.
but it
See
hasn't
Lanier.com
created
for
a
more
new instance of this yet.
In your decision to donate
So, and then down here, it actually
More than
creates a
you
new
know.
instance,
One donation can
which
save lives and fuel research to save many more.
is relevant,
A few
actually.
moments of your time sparks
So here it says
unforgettable
basically if
moments.
it's
Hope cures, empowers,
if
and strengthens
it's
us.
null value or
Hope
it
isn't all
converts
the
to a
moments that
0,
matter, and
then
it's
it
in all of us.
returns a null
From
value.
City Blood
So we
Centers
can
of
change
Illinois.
this slightly
It's in our blood.
because we're going to be returning the return value anyway.
Hold on to your shopping carts, everyone. Tony's Fresh Market has the deal you've been waiting for. $10 off your $60 purchase, exclusively for Tony's Rewards members. That's right.
Yeah,
March
so we
19th to
basically say, hey, we found
Save
it's null
instantly
or
on
it's
fresh
0.
produce and meats
Return
in
value is now
town.
equal
Only
to
at
null.
Tony's
Otherwise,
with
return
Tony's
value is a new
Rewards.
instance of the
Download the
nullable
Tony's
template.
Rewards app today and
We go
get
that way.
$10 off
Why do
your
I
next
have
$60
ads?
purchase. Tony's Fresh
Spotify
Market.
sucks. Okay, getting rid of Spotify and going back to Amazon Music. Right, very good. Let's go over to music. Station. Perfect. Alright. So we're right. We hit play, what do we get? Alright. No errors. Use of unassigned local variable. So in this case, it's attempting to return something that hasn't been assigned if it didn't get in here. But in this case, it's saying return null. So what we'll have to do is take the return value and inside of set, we'll say equals new. Okay, that is a nullable template model, right? It's going to return that, which is fine. And in here, it's also being established to be return new. We can probably change this logic here to say where SQL ID does not equal null and convert that to ID does not equal 0, then we only need to do it this way. Okay, take both of those, put them down the line. So they're two different comparisons. So we have the ID does not equal null and the ID is greater than 0. then we have return value, record ID, etc. So essentially it's becoming a new one up there. Save, continue. Okay.
You can't let nobody stand in your way. You just gotta get back up, yeah. You just gotta get back up, and take down everything that you cannot change now. You just gotta get back up, yeah. You just gotta get back up.
So much time has passed since I first sparked the camp with fire. I'm still confused how I'm a role model that you admire. They say I inspire those who are searching for higher goals. I'm tired though, am I worthy of what my mind and heart desire? I once said in my journey to greatness I'm a pyromaniac. It's crazy that I came this far, I can't retire. I'm a fighter now, my music now acquires crowds. Ignite my doubts, cast them away with mental chains, I'll tie them down. I'll find the crown, in need of royal bars, I'm the supplier. A loyal cause promise to give my all to the entire earth. Expired worth is my current fear, with purpose near and serpents leer. I'll find rebirth on the verge of tears and climb the surge. We fall to get back up stronger with willpower to confine our curse. Decline the urge to give up and rise your highness search for that inner strength. Persevere and don't repent. Instead ascend from your mistakes, it's all it takes. Believe in time will learn.
You can't let nobody stand in your way. You just gotta get back up, yeah. You just gotta get back up, and take down everything that you cannot change now. You just gotta get back up, yeah. You just gotta get back up.
I don't want you to think my life's perfect, I feel beaten. Don't idolize these rappers, most do it for the wrong reasons. I realize I've taken a longer path, but I'll be fine because these demons advertising their reward sacrifice my freedom. I won't sell my soul for gain, or homie, that'd be treason. I will towards a path of morals intact, it's not that easy. I'm this beacon of hope appointed by my fate.
Well, maybe I have a view, maybe I don't. Who knows? If I got one, feel free to chat something about it. Alright, so we got a syntax error. We want to find out where, so we're going to hit pause, and then debug, and step out. Okay, so again, we're going to do step out. Right. So this one basically says, hey, if the connection's not closed, close it. Right. But that tells us somewhere up here, this command is the problem. So we got SQLite, SQL text. So we're going to put a break on this. Okay. We're going to copy that, and we're going to go over to SQLite Studio. Okay. We're going to close out that and open up the query builder and paste that in. So from here, we have to figure out why it didn't work. So we create table if the table does not exist, yeah. Alright, then we got template ID, integer, added, text, current timestamp, fine, added by username, record modified, easy enough, modified by username, so far so good, integer, not default, not null, default 0, excellent. Record deleted as text, deleted by username as text, text field, which is text not null, and then we seem to have a problem with double commas happening afterwards. Why? Okay, why do we have double commas happening afterwards? Well, if we go to where this is being created, or in this case called, it's calling a run command. So we're going to say debug step out, and it should bring us to here, right? And so this one says that one, and field name with definition, I'm thinking has something afterwards. Yeah, it has the comma afterwards, field name with definition, and it has a comma afterwards, and this one has a comma before it, which is part of the problem, right? So if we go to the definition, yeah, it probably doesn't need to have a comma afterwards, so we'll take that out, save. Alright, and we're going to refresh that because it's really field name with definition, not field name with definition followed by comma. We'll make sure that that's clear. So now we can select all, go to the SQLite editor again. Okay, we'll select all here, paste down the new one, delete the surrounding quotes, and we have template ID. These are all the basics. Okay. Alright, we got integer field, date field, decimal fields. Okay. So I guess the dumb question is, how do those all have their stuff lined up? The moment we get into these ones, they're not lined up anymore. That's a weird one, right? I mean, added by username, modified by username. They all seem to have perfect lineup in here. So let's do debug, step out. Alright, SQLite fields and definitions. Primary key field, SQLite table name. Okay, okay, so that's how they're all lined up, because they're lined up like this. So that's irrelevant. I mean, that's just a formatting thing. 2, 3. That doesn't quite matter. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Right. 1, 2. All right. So we have that. Does that run? Seems like it runs. So that makes sense, I guess. All right. So now we've got that fixed. If we hit continue, and continue. All right. So it's running now. Excellent. So we get to here, we have our system data, we have SQLite data types. That button doesn't get us anywhere, so that's a bug. We can say SQLite data types on the data menu, does not work. Should take me to that menu. Let's say 2, does it stopping me? Yes it is, continue. Alright, so that's just like a issue tracker for myself here. So we have that, and so what we're going to do is we're going to go over to data menu. It's not in features, it's in menus. Okay, so it's under data menu. Yep, SQLite data types, and we have the click event. Okay, but we have nothing happening, so now we can do SQLite data type. No, wrong one. Okay, so let's do Solution Explorer. Go again into Features. Okay, we have SQLite data type, actions. Right, we got our field information, properties, fields, methods, SQLite table methods, SQLite methods. We want navigation methods is what we're looking for. We have nav to detail, we have nav to list, which is this one. Okay, copy that. We can then go into the code behind, drop that down, and we can say nav to list, like so. That should fix the button. So let's try that. Okay, system data, data types. Now we're here, but it has nothing in it. So SQLite data type list doesn't seem to have any content. So let's find out why. Let's move the focus session timer out of the way. And we've got our list design. Well, our list design has nothing in it. So let's go to our templates, go to our list design. Okay, and we basically are going to pick up everything after the view model namespace here. Go back. Okay. Paste. Another 400 lines or so. Okay, very good. And then we'll switch this to there. Perfect. We have the list. Okay, save. That's fine. Now I think we're fairly good on this page. It's going to tell me it doesn't have some stuff, which is okay. So filters, filter SQLite data type. Okay, that's there. And then the next one is going to be some sort of a date field. We don't have any date fields, so we're going to leave that one for right now. Date picker, we will label another date picker. All of this is inside of a grid, which is inside of the stack panel. Okay, we're just going to comment that out. It's pretty simple. Same with this stack panel. We don't have an integer field to work with here, so we're going to comment that out. Okay, those are pretty easy. Now we don't have. Okay, we have filter value. Why did that just come back? Build. It's very strange. Why? Okay, so let's go to page loaded. This is the page code behind. We'll find the template code behind. We'll just grab that. Okay. Swatch out the page and the view model. Okay. Everything else seems pretty good. Except the actions is then nav to new. Okay. Pretty simple. Save. Close that. Save that. Alright, so our filters have gone away. And we're going to rebuild it. And now it's built this time. Okay. Let's go see what we've got. Data, data types. Alright, so it says no such table of v SQLite data type. Okay, most likely the actions doesn't have it being built. So we're going to go in here, and these are the standard statements, and then we have table methods. So we have, well, this is template actions. No, we don't want template actions. We want SQLite data type actions. Okay, SQLite table methods. We have the table. Okay, like that. Okay, and then down here in the view, essentially we're getting all the fields. Pretty standard. Save. Find text field. No. Back up. Find our document. Okay, not that one. Integer field. Alright. Not that one either. Next. Okay. Yep, we have more integer field. Like that. Okay, we can always switch this up later to match the new actions section. But ultimately, we have a SQLite data type, and then this says an integer date field, which we don't really need. Okay, it's just the data type. If we went to our SQLite data type model, to our properties and fields, we would see that we have the ID, and we have the type, which is just a description. So that's it. Pretty simple. That's it. ID's in there, and the description, and all the tracking fields are there too. So that means that can go away. Okay, soak in a lot of this. Make makes it much easier. Okay. Nothing else in the current document. Date, field. Nope, not seeing them. Good. Saying something else is still missing, which is a semicolon. Yep. Another one. Oh, there we go. Okay. Easy enough. Filled. Good. Run it. Test menu. Sorry. Data menu. Data types. Okay. We still don't have a view. Why don't we have a view? Well, most likely because it's not being called to make a view. So these are the collections, SQLite standard objects, table methods. Okay. So at the moment, neither this one nor that one get called. But this is going to be called in the SQLite utility that we put together, where we say make everything. Okay. Insert class record. Create local SQL database. Create all tables and views. Here we are. Okay. So pretty simple. We can put that in here. SQLite table. SQLite data type actions dot
give up on your dreams. I know it may seem like you're splitting at the seams, but if you're the hero in this film, everybody likes a comeback story to tell. So can I get my soul back? I'm sick of being someone I don't wanna be, 'cause I've been such a let.
Like that.
I let all my friends down. I just wanna way out of my darkest days. I just wanna know when I love my.
So that creates the table, that creates the view. Pretty simple. And now we can run it again. Now, because these are going to be a pre-populated one, we can go to system data, data types, and it again says no such column. B SQL data type ID, which is weird. But what we can do is we can go over to SQLite here, find our database, refresh it. SQLite data type. Okay, SQLite data type ID. Okay, SQLite data type. That's pretty simple. Okay, we have no data in here. So why is it saying it doesn't have something? Well, let's find out. Let's trace it through. System data SQLite. There we go. B SQLite data type. Alright, B SQLite data type. We have SQLite data type ID. B SQLite data type, SQLite data type ID. Yeah, it's there. SQLite data type ID. So I'm not sure why I would say it doesn't exist, because it's right here. But what we can do is we can trace through it. So we'll hit pause and debug step out. And again, we'll have to hit OK, and then we'll hit debug step out. So where are we not getting this? Select count, select data type. Where's that string? Yes. SQLite primary key is greater than 0. Okay. This is going to be select. Okay, so that's the where. Select count from the view. Select SQLite view fields. Okay. B SQLite data type, SQLite data type ID. UI. So Windows Presentation Foundation UI. So it's C# XAML. It's like desktop app basically. So when it comes up here, I'll show you. Yeah, so it's just a desktop app here that I started working on. It's not in a browser or anything. Interesting. Channels. Twitch. Okay. Let's see. Oh, good. I am following you already. Alright, cool. Alright, excellent. So it's back to chat. Yeah, so it's just a desktop UI. It's kind of boring at the moment, but the whole point of this UI is to help me build code faster. So, you know, it's going to be kind of boring at first, but why is that not working? Notice it's column and v SQL table or table suffix, right? Alright, so if we go to our Sqlite Studio v SQL table. Alright, let's try this. Yeah, I think I know where it's not finding it. So this is all the stuff from the SQL table. And then we have prefix, we have subject, we need suffix. Suffix. There we go. Right. That should fix that issue. This one, I think, is just giving me a wrong error. Because that's not quite right. So this is saying count from there. Yep. The only thing I can think of is that when it selects the data from the view, that it is not doing it right. So what we'll do is here, before it does the command text, we're gonna snag what it's sending. All right. So data, SQL data types. Yep. Okay. All copy. Sqlite Studio, and we'll go here again. Okay. So we have at first count records. All right. Does that part run? It not running. No such table. V Sqlite. Sqlite data type. Looking right at it. Sqlite data type V. Sqlite data type, right? But so it. Okay, let's go to our data. Add a row. And one of the data types is text. Pretty simple. Okay, so we close that. Go to our data, refresh it. We have a record, which is fine. So we should. This is SQLite data type, record ID, username, modified by username, SQLite data type, where SQLite data type ID is greater than 0. 20 offset 0. Okay. If we just run it, it doesn't like it. Which doesn't make sense because the v SQLite data type, I don't think I spelled it wrong anywhere. Select, oh, it's missing a from statement. Figure. It still doesn't work. Select as from this where that. So if we do this, doesn't give me anything, but that doesn't make any sense. Should treat it the same way. Be Sqlite data type, where Sqlite data type ID has the data. So why is that not working? Okay, so new query, select as creator. Yeah, select count B like data type. Nice, that gives me a 1. Right. So why does it not work here? Okay. No such column. Important. Field type name. That's different. Okay. So important field type name is being incorrectly sent in as the order by, which should have checked that earlier, but I didn't. So essentially, this is getting called list page fields. List page fields have a reference where they get built up, and the view model. Okay, and here we are. Yeah, it says one thing and completely means another. So let's go to M, grab our data type. Okay. Yeah, Sqlite data type. Data type. Okay. Let's refresh that. Always little things that end up causing problems. So now we can go to data, Sqlite data types, run it. No such column. Really? Page creator Sqlite DB database main. Data source is this, but database is this. That's not right. Okay, well, if we took the string, still gives me an error. Okay, let's do a new. Still missing the from statement. Seems to be the issue. Yeah. So when we're selecting everything, it really does need to have a from. So select count. Right. So select this here. Select SQL view. Yeah. Select Sqlite. Select from Sqlite view. That one. Let's refresh that. Yeah. Figure. Use the wrong one. Alright, so we have back system data types. Continue, through, perfect. But it didn't get the data back. Alright, we know data exists. We put it there. So if we pull up SQL data type, look at data, we do have a record here. We can even go to data type here, data. We're going to add a record and call it integer. Okay, correct. And if we refresh it, we can see that. Okay, so we have integer, but it's not showing up in here. Why is it not showing up in there? The data grid's probably not set up correctly. So if we go to our SQLite data grid, that is tied to the view model, that is tied to the view model. Let's go to the view model. The view model is set up to grab the results, and the results. Okay. That there. Okay. Where's the... Yep. The data grid. There it is. List. Select the data type. Perfect. Save. So now if we go to the definition, yep, that's good. It's selected. Good. So ID, go to SQL data type ID, and this is then SQL data type. There's no integer, there's no date. Pretty simple. Just the ID and the type. And I really don't need the ID because that should be hidden from the user to begin with, but we have that. So let's try that again. Okay. So data, SQLite data types, we now have integer and text. Super simple. There's really not a lot to it. We don't have any filters. Probably don't need a lot here. But we can see them. And if we want to add one, okay, well, the add new doesn't seem to have anything, so we can go to the new view, and we can create one. So we can go down here to templates and go to new. Yep, and then we can grab that. Alright, what does that do for us? We can take namespace, redo that, and set up the view model. Very good. Go to the code behind, which is also not set up. Go to the templates new code behind and grab all of those. Okay. Paste in that stuff. Grab the name of this, the name of that, put this one in there. Good. Now this one says bug report actions. It's fine. Save, close. Excellent. There's not really anything to populate, but it works. Okay. So now that we have that, we can go up here. Data type. That's all it needs. And the rest of these can be deleted. Okay. SQLite. Data type. Okay. I mean, it's big for what we need, so we would just do. No, that's width. Sorry. Height. Drop that down. Excellent. Pretty simple. And then the instructions, we can always put, you know, an extra text block underneath that. Pretty simple. And we can say fill in field. Right. And click continue. Save. Okay, now why am I saying right? Because we're going to switch the side that these are on pretty easily. This one's going to become column 0, and this one's going to become column 1. Instructions on the left, data on the right. And the page title, we go to the definition of that. We can say SQLite data type new. Just like that. Very good. Build that up again. Alright. So, it built. That's excellent. Now that means should be able to go in here and see that integer or text. Now, those aren't the only types of SQLite data types. If we go into the table, we will notice that the four most common ones are integer, numeric, real, and text. And it's also blob, but I don't need that much. So, numeric is probably the other one that we want. Yeah. So like this, and we'll go over here and do numeric. Continue. And now we have numeric. Very simple. Alright, now for this table though, we refresh them. No. That's all that. Let's go to data type, data, perfect text, integer numeric. We're going to put this in capital because it makes more sense that way. And then we're also going to add a new record and we're going to call it real. We will add a blob one as well. Okay. Now, if we go to data and we wanted a button in here that said export table, we can choose to export table data, and we're going to do it in SQL format, which is correct, and we're just going to put it into the clipboard. Hit finish. And export successful. Hit new, paste. Okay. So here's the crazy part is we really only have like 5 values to keep track of: text, integer, numeric, real, and blob. Okay, the dates and times, none of those really matter. This is one of those tables that needs to get populated when the system fires up, because we want it to always be the same. So we're going to close the session, file that. Inside of SQLite data type actions, we have a table method. This one is create table. So it's create view, and then we're going to do another one called public boolean populate SQLite table. SQLite data type. Okay. Now, because it's a boolean outbound, go down here to templates, grab our code blocks, and there's a code block with a boolean return we previously built. And paste that one in. Alright, so it's got everything in it, and essentially try. We only have 5, right? Am I getting a notification? What just happened? Oh, it's the focus session thing. That's fine. Whatever. Okay. So to populate the table, I could just take that code here and run it. Right? I don't have to run procedures, I can just run this. And because of how it works, we can do something else. So what we'll do is we'll say string builder SB. Okay. Down here, SB is new. Okay, simple enough. And then we'll have to set it up to be SB.append. Like that. Okay, so it's a very, very long thing, and we don't need it to be that long. We'll just take this, copy, and yeah, we do have the ID, the added, the username, modified, deleted, record deleted, deleted by, yep, just like that. Okay. And that's pretty simple. So took that off. We can just put this here. Okay.
Yeah, money that is time and hour. So, well, I better activate the power.
Two.
Activate it, gotta make it, gotta chase it. I don't care what they be saying, I'ma do it now. And I've been really slaving, I ain't giving up and I ain't giving in. Do it now for the dividends. I'll be on the path, I just gotta get it cause I got my mind.
This.
I ain't gonna give in now. I just gotta live this now. I'll be gonna be when I'ma kill this stuff real quick. I'ma go take it to town cause I gotta be that king of the ring when I'm knocking them out when I'm back with the whip. Cause I am just
This.
that I'm just going to say.
So let's put that one of each of these, like so. And then one of these we don't need. Just delete them like that. We get our values.
I am a monster, there's some things that I might
Okay,
see.
some of these had values, some
When I do,
didn't,
I
but
can
it doesn't
never
really
get
matter
no sleep.
because it's
I
only
just
the
need to
core
get it, man, I need to be
fields that we
the
need.
thing that I
Everything
just
else has
painted
its
out. Man, you won't go
defaults.
see. See my
Okay.
vision, I'll be in it, I'ma kill it, I'ma take it all. Come in there, I'ma
Pretty
play
simple.
it now, I'ma kill him dog, I'ma play the
Alright.
ball, cause I gotta go and get him and I really just need it.
And that
These guys
means
say they can beat it, I'ma give it, I'ma grab it, man.
nope,
Take it,
that
never
one.
receive it, I'ma make it mine. I'm explosive like a mine. I've been working every time, yeah, I do it on the grind. I'ma shine, yeah, every single day. I'ma kill this competition.
So you can just put this one there. Delete those. That. Take that away. Okay, so now we have 5 insert statements. Just inserts into those values, right? We have this. So if we wanted to populate the values for the first time, the one place that it exists, which is here. Okay. Go to definition, and in this case, it's saying create SQL statement, blah blah blah, and then so
I've been climbing up this ladder. Yes, I'm going up higher. I need to do it till the day that I might retire.
what does that value equal when it tries to run it and the table already exists? Because if it's a true thing, okay, so 11 value is true that it ran, but it didn't. Didn't actually run because the table already exists. So I only want it to do that if the table doesn't already exist. So I guess inside of populate data, we could check for a count, like how many records are in it. this one. Populate SQL table. Let's find out. Table. So this is Sqlite. Okay.
I don't get reception. Missed your call, best believe I got the message.
Schema.
Why don't you just
Okay. Let's find out that works. So let's go to our Sqlite utility. And then return. Okay. And then same deal. String builder.
I said you better watch.